Welcome to Mission to Inspire, where we share life experiences in our careers, personal lives, society, culture, religion, finance, family, and much more. Meet your host, Shola Ajibade, as she takes you on a ride to fuel your inspiration.
Welcome to Mission to Inspire. My name is Shola, and we've got our wonderful guest here today. Oh my goodness, she's so wonderful. Oh my God. Lynita, how are you?
I'm doing fabulously well, Shola, and I am so appreciative to be here with you today. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on our show. I'm just going to do a short introduction of Lynita, and we can know her better by my short introduction. She's a very great woman, but I'm just going to do a short introduction. So join us today as we delve into the world of ultimate success, inner fulfillment, and personal transformation with Lynita Mitchell-Blackwell. So she's an intuitive business coach and a #1 bestseller author. Wow! So today she'll take us on a journey through our own remarkable transition from a thriving law career to a life devoted to guiding others towards enduring peace, joy, and success. Wow, isn't that wonderful? So discover today all the key principles behind our 5 steps formula to the ultimate successful life, and gain valuable insight on how to infuse your life with purpose, happiness, and profound fulfillment. Wow. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me, Shola.
Oh my goodness. Is there anything else you would like to say about yourself before we go into the main interview?
No, that was a great intro. Let's hit
it. So before we start, we're going to do our usual. It's like a tradition. So we do this or that. Just to know you better, we ask you a few questions about yourself. So the first one is, do you prefer coaching one-on-one or leading group sessions to help your clients?
So that is kind of a trick question, and let me tell you why. It depends on what exactly I'm working on at the moment, right? So if I'm working with women on how to better manage the life process, the lifepreneur process, because for us, it's not just our business. Normally, we are also the primary person for the family as well. And so we have to manage all of that. Then that's group, because that's fun, you know? But if we're working on how to get your book out, if we're working on legal plans, if we're working on how to help you live the ultimate successful life full of peace, joy, and fulfillment, that's a one-on-one kind of a conversation, because there are some things that you're not going to want to share in a group. I don't care how fun it is, how loving everybody is, there are just some things we hold back, you know?
Yeah, that's great. So you actually kind of guided towards what they want, basically.
So I'm more guided toward what they need.
Oh,
because because people will ask for one thing because they see me in that space, or they have gotten a referral from a friend. But after talking with them during the initial process, I realized that they need something else, and that's the recommendation that I make. Because I want them to be happy and feel that they got the benefit of the bargain, and I want to be happy and feel that my time was well spent with them, you know?
True, that's true. They know you're all fulfilled.
Yes, we're all fulfilled. I like that.
So in your pursuit of peace and joy, do you find meditation or physical exercise more effective for yourself?
For me, I actually have to do both. So every morning, I get up somewhere between 4:30 and 5:30, and I do my stretches first. I do yoga first to limber up these bones that seem to want to get older than I am. I mean, I'm still a teen. And then I go into my prayers and meditation right after. So I do both. Right. And they they each have their own way of preparing me for the day.
Okay, great. Thank you for sharing. So when crafting your books, do you prefer to write in a quiet, serene setting, or amidst energy of a bustling coffee shop?
So I prefer serenity. And part of that is because when I am writing, I am normally dictating into my phone app, and then it's transcribing my words into the printed version. And then I just go back and clean it up a bit before I send it to the editor. And, to do that, well, effectively, then it needs to be quiet.
It needs to be quiet, yes. Lastly, on Can We Know You Better? When you are advising your clients on their career paths, do you prioritize following their passion or leveraging their unique skills and strengths?
So for me, again, those are intertwined. We all have particular skills, gifts, and talents, but they are amplified when we are using them in accordance with our purpose. And we then trust that we can use our intuitive intelligence so that we get the best value for not only ourselves, but the people that we're working with as well.
Great.
So, yeah.
Thank you so much. So that's the end of our This or That. Can we know you better? So we know you better now. We're going into the interview now. So can you share with us the defining moment or experience in your life that led to transition from successful career, in law, for that matter, and publishing?
So there was really no transition because I did them and do them simultaneously.
Oh.
Yes, and so the way that all of that happened, I have a wonderful life, great family and friends, community, and they encouraged me to work hard and to achieve. And they said if I did that, that I would be happy. And I have accomplished a lot in my life. I'm very blessed. But the problem is that happiness was kind of it was temporary. I would achieve this thing and then the next thing. And that was how I wound up doing law and publishing together. I was at a point in my life with my law practice where I was doing well and I was serving on various boards. And I was at a place where I was rolling off a few boards and I had not started my term with the new ones yet. And so it was a space of quietness. And I just felt like I needed to be doing something more, something that was of service, not in the traditional sense where I was out serving meals or helping with the church, right? And Spirit told me that I was to write a book. And specifically that was to be about my experiences and how I got to where I was at that time. And so the book was called Leading Through Living, a guide for women seeking growth through leadership. And I talked about how I use my professional organizations and community service to gain the skill set that I needed, and then use that in the professional setting, in the corporate setting. Because when I started working, the first firm I joined was going through a merger. And if anybody's been through a merger, that is like the worst time to start somewhere because everybody's scared for their jobs. They're not trying to train you because they are trying to look out for themselves. And so you're kind of just languishing. And I was like, well, I have to get experience or they're not going to keep me. And then it's going to be hard to get the next opportunity. So I started volunteering. And I started meeting people and learning new things, and that was showing up at work. And so I then went back to law school because I started off as an accountant, got my CPA license, went to law school, and then I started working. And I was like, I really want to work for myself. And then I wrote this book, and the book really resonated with people. Wow. And it didn't matter if they were men or women, even though the title is for women seeking growth through leadership, right? And it didn't matter what the religion was, where they lived. People were just like, yes, I need this. And so I started speaking, and I didn't even know there was a such thing called Speak for Pay. I was so happy the first time somebody put money in my hand when I went to present. I was like, this is really cool. I can do this, right? And then people said to me, I want to write a book. And so I gave them my tips, but what they were really saying is, I really want you to help me to do this and to publish it for me. And that's how the publishing came. But I never stopped practicing law.
Okay. So you're still practicing law now then?
Yes, I celebrate 17 years in December.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Yeah. How wonderful. Oh, wow. Wow. So your book, Live Life on Fire. Yeah, it discusses the formula for the ultimate success life. So can you provide our audience with a glimpse into one of the key principles or steps from your formula?
Absolutely. So the first step is to breathe. And I know that that sounds very elementary, but we really don't take the time to just be. We are so busy planning for the next thing, preparing the strategy for what wonderful thing we're going to accomplish next, that we forget that this moment right here, right now, is all that we are promised. And if we are not a good steward over this moment right here, next, tomorrow, a year from now, it can't come. Not that it won't, Shola. It cannot. Because if we are sick and or dying, if we are distracted and inattentive, if we are not respectful of this moment right here, then it all falls apart. This is the foundation of whatever it is that we said that we want to accomplish. And so if it is not taken care of, if we don't breathe and just pause and just be right here, right now, and take an honest assessment of who we are, what we are, and how we serve, as Paul Selig says so eloquently in his books, then we cannot enjoy what is to come. We just cannot, because it won't come. It can't come.
That's true. That's true. That's true. We just need to make out time for ourselves.
Yeah. Take time for ourselves. Take time to love us. And I know that that probably sounds very selfish to some of your listeners, but I got to tell you, if you take the word selfish and break it up, self, flip that out for soul, and ish, the focus of that, is focused, right? Be soul focused. If you're soul focused and you are strong and you're showing up as the light that you were meant to be, like you do on this show every time that you broadcast it, then there are other people who are empowered by that. And then you can go out into the world and be Superwoman or Superman.
Thank you for that. You mentioned the importance of lasting peace and joy as the foundation of an ultimate successful life. So how do you guide your clients in achieving and maintaining this inner states amidst all the challenges? So we've talked about it a bit now, but can you just go,
Oh, absolutely. So the first thing is determining what is peaceful and joyful to you. Because I know what it is for me, but my life is not your life. And so the first thing is to remove the thought that we have this homogeneous plan, a process that is going to be applied to everyone and everybody, because it's not. And that's actually how I got into this work, because when I was doing like 1,000 things, publishing, media company, law firm, accounting firm, speaking, my own books, I got really ill. And literally my daughter found me passed out in the middle of the floor, exhausted, and she was 6 years old. And I was too tired to put my child to bed, Shola. Literally, she kicked me on the forehead, put a blanket on me, and said, "Good night, mommy." And I didn't have the strength to get up to put my child to sleep. All I could say was, "Good night, baby." And so I had to come out of that experience and redefine what success meant for me. And for me, success was peace, joy, and fulfillment. So that's the first thing, which is then related to the second thing. We have to redefine what this success thing is when it comes to meeting these standards. Because for most of us, we were handed the same list and we were told, if you check off these boxes, you're going to live happily ever after. If you work hard, you make money, you'll do well in your career or your business, and you'll have a family, the house, the car, and the clothes and the money, and you'll be great. But the wheel kept turning because you would accomplish these things and then you would be happy for a short period of time and then you would have to start over again. And so I was like, this was a well-meaning list that I was given, but it's not my list. This is somebody else's standard, and I'm no longer interested in meeting someone else's standard. And so now I have to move on to setting my own standard, which is excellence now instead of perfection. And that excellence is peace, joy, and fulfillment. So that's the process I use with my clients, the same one I use for mine. Let's pause for a moment. And then I ask them, are you really looking for something beyond happy? Because some people, I actually had a potential client meeting a couple of weeks ago where she was not in the place yet where she was looking for joy. She was still looking for happy. And joy is the place beyond happy. See, happy is a place where you still think you can buy your way in.
Right.
You think it's experiences. Okay. You think it's being with family and friends. Joy is beyond that. It is, no matter if I have the money to pay for an experience, no matter if my friends or family are around at all, I can still be grateful and have a sense of peace about myself and my life that is independent of anybody else and anything else. So then we can move on to, now let's look at how to build that for you.
Thank you for that. Thank you so much, especially the defined differences and the definition of happiness and joy. I mean, that really, most of us don't even know the difference, to be honest. We just thought when we're happy, we have joy, but you've given a very distinctive, differences between them, and we're able to differentiate that now. So with your diverse background as a CPA, best-selling author, and new thought minister, how do you draw from these different areas to support your clients in their personal and professional journeys?
Thank you for asking that, Shola, because it depends on what they are coming to me for, because I am drawing from all of those experiences because I'm one person, right? But as far as how those skills, gifts, and talents are going to show up for that person, it depends on what we're working on. For instance, in my law practice, of course, I'm always the lawyer, but I'm also drawing on my compassion and my training as a minister, because every situation is not going to be combative. A lot of times when people are coming to me, it is at one of the worst times of their lives. They are having a really hard time with everything that's going on. And so they need a listening ear so they can vent and say whatever is on their mind. They need a safe space so that they don't feel judged. But then they need wise counsel and the legal framework for us to solve that issue. Versus if someone is coming to me for the Live Life on Fire framework and that as the intuitive business coach, the coaching. So I would start off a little differently. I'm still listening. I am still evaluating where we need to go, but I'm not sitting here thinking to myself, okay, how can we work together? I'm thinking, are they ready for what we are about to embark on? Because just like I shared earlier about the client that I met with and who was not ready to make the transition, it doesn't mean that she won't be one day. It's just not right now. And there are other ways that I can support you and love you, but this work that we need to do, you're not ready for. And so the law part doesn't come into that. The accounting part doesn't come into that per se, but the professionalism does.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Wow. Wow. Thank you so much for that. And lastly, to sum it up, in your world often focus on external, in a world often focus on external success, achievements, what advice would you give individuals who are searching for deeper fulfillment, especially drawing from your own experience?
So you cannot define life success with stuff. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. Because the stuff, it goes away. And once you've achieved the thing, eventually the euphoria will go, and it will be time again to set a new course and new adventure. Mm-hmm. There's everything right with the new course and new adventure, but eventually you will have to find another way to define what gives you lasting and sustainable joy so that you can enjoy the journey.
That's very true. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Any inspirational advice for our viewers out there?
Absolutely. When we're trying to answer the question, what am I living for? Look to the answer within. Joy is an inside job. No one else is going to be able to tell you what that is for you. So take the time. You are totally worth it.
Oh, we are totally worth it. Thank you so much. That actually frames it all. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you so much. Is there anything else you want to add before we close?
No, that is the gist of it. I would love it if you would check out my book, Live Life on Fire, the ultimate guide for a successful life full of peace, joy, and fulfillment. It is available on my website, LynitaMitchell-Blackwell.com, or you can go on Amazon, and it is available on all platforms. So Kindle, paperback, hardback, and Audible.
Thank you so much. And all that information will be in the description anyway, and the show notes. Thank you for joining us. If we want to contact you on social media platform, how can we contact you?
I keep it easy. It's my name, Lynita Mitchell-Blackwell, and it's my name on everything.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. And until next time, it's Shola and Lynita. Bye.
Thank you for joining us today on Mission to Inspire. Subscribe if you have not already done so. Like, comment, leave a message. Let's stay connected. Let's jointly inspire the world.